everyone, welcome back. Happy Monday. Today we're going to be looking at modes. So this is moving away a little bit from chords, chordal analysis, intervals, and going back to our roots, scales. And modes are different kinds of scales. So this week you're going to be completing this sheet right here. It's called modes. And what you're going to be doing is labeling each mode and then writing out your own at the bottom. So this is pretty straightforward. On the back of this sheet, there's also a chart that looks like this. And this tells you exactly what you have to do to get each mode. So we're going to go over each one just so you know what it is. And then on this sheet, you're going to see what that pattern is. And then you're going to be able to label each one. Awesome. Chameleon is great. So our first mode, they go in order. The very first mode is called the Ionian mode. Ionian. Ionian. And the Ionian mode sounds like this. So if I'm starting on C, it's just a regular major scale. Ionian is just a regular major scale. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 or 1. Same exact way you usually play the major scale. So Ionian, normal, and it sounds like this. If I'm starting on C, I go C to C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That's the Ionian scale, major scale. Ionian is major. The second scale is called the Dorian scale. This is the scale that Uptown Funk is in, and if you look down at that second line, Dorian, you have something a little different. All it has is the normal notes, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, but instead of not having any flats or sharps, you add a flat to the third note and a flat to the seventh note. So whatever note you start on, say you start in D major, you would flat or lower the third note of that scale and lower the seventh note of that scale. So you have to do whatever this chart says, whatever that scale sounds like. So this is the Dorian scale. This is what it sounds like. Dorian is flat 3 and flat 7, lowered third and lowered seventh note of the scale. This is what it sounds like. So it has a way different sound. I'll play it one more time because it's pretty cool. It's not quite minor, it's not quite major, and that is Dorian, flat 3 and flat 7. The next scale up is the Phrygian mode. So Phrygian has a lot more going on. In this one, you have a flat 2, a flat 3, a flat 6, and a flat 7. So again, Ionian is just straight major. Dorian, you have a flat 3 and a flat 7. You lower those third and sevenths. And then for the Phrygian mode, you have a flat 2, flat 3, flat 6, and flat 7. So it's a lot of lowered notes that you have to add, but this is what the Phrygian scale sounds like, so you can hear it. Sorry, this flute is a little broken. Try this again. Here we go. So it's a really weird sound. It's kind of minor, and it's a really, really interesting scale, or interesting mode. So that's Phrygian. That's the third one. Flat 2, flat 3, flat 6, flat 7. The next one up is Lydian, and you only have to change one note in Lydian. The Lydian mode is just a sharp 4. So you take your regular major scale, but whatever your fourth note in that scale is, you raise it by a half step. So you sharp whatever that fourth note is. This is what the Lydian mode sounds like. So you sharp that fourth note. I'll play it one more time. Sharp 4. That's the Lydian mode, sharp 4. So from the top, you have Ionian, which is straight major. You don't change anything about the major scale. Dorian is you take that major scale, but you change the third, you lower it, and you change the seventh, you lower it. So flat 3, flat 7 for Dorian. Phrygian is the third mode, and for that one you flat 2, flat 3, flat 6, and flat 7. And it's really important to remember that all of these changes are happening to the major scale, not just C to C, not worrying about sharps or flats, but the major scale. So you have to think about what your regular key signature would be, and then make the changes to whatever that key signature is. So if you have an F sharp in your key signature, you're doing D major, you have D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, C sharp, D. You would make changes to those already sharps. So that makes sense. You're making the changes to the major scale. Last one, fourth one, is Lydian, and again, you sharp that 4. So there's only 3 left, and these are some more flats coming at you. So the next one is called Mixolydian. So fourth, you have Lydian. Fifth, you have Mixolydian. And in the Mixolydian mode, all you have to do is flat the 7th. So you take your regular major scale, and then you just take that 7th note of the scale, and you lower it. This is what a Mixolydian scale sounds like. I'll play it one more time. Mixolydian, flat 7. A little different. So that's the Mixolydian. Only 2 more. The Aeolian is next. Aeolian. And for Aeolian, this is actually a minor scale. It's the same exact thing as a minor scale. So the Aeolian mode, you're starting on C, you're starting wherever you are, and you just make that scale minor. That's all that is. So you flat 3, flat 6, and flat 7. Aeolian is flat 3, flat 6, and flat 7. And this is what it sounds like. Just a regular minor scale. So that's Aeolian. And the very last one is called Locrian. Locrian. And the Locrian mode, flat 2, flat 3, flat 5, flat 6, and flat 7. So Locrian has the most changes out of anything. Locrian, flat 2, flat 3, flat 5, flat 6, and flat 7. So this is what the Locrian scale sounds like. It's a really weird sounding mode. Really strange. But here it is. This flute would work. Come on. So this works. One of these pads is not having it. So here's the Locrian scale. I'll play that one more time. I think I messed up that stuff. So here is the Locrian scale one more time. That's Locrian. So again, you flat 2, flat 3, flat 5, flat 6, and flat 7. So all of these modes together, you have to memorize what these are. So this is something you just have to commit to memory, get it in your brain. And first things first, I would memorize the order. So you can, just like funny cats give dogs an exciting bath, you can come up with a sentence for these. You have Ionian, I, Dorian, D, Phrygian, P, Lydian, L, Mixolydian, M, Aeolian, A, and Locrian, L. So there's something in there. Make a sentence, make it creative, make it happen. I'll try and think of something for tonight. But that's your order. Ionian first, major scale. Dorian second, you're just flatting your 3 and flat 7. Phrygian is third, flat 2, flat 3, flat 6, and flat 7. Lydian is fourth, and you sharp 4. That's the only one that has a sharp and no flats. So Lydian is sharp 4. Mixolydian, you flat 7, just doing 1. Aeolian is a regular minor scale. You flat 3, flat 6, and flat 7. And then Locrian is the last one. You flat 2, flat 3, flat 5, flat 6, and flat 7. So these are your modes. Again, this chart is going to be on the back of your modes sheet. And really quickly on this sheet, what you're going to do is on the top you see a scale. So your starting pitch is whatever key you are in. And you have to label which mode this is. So say you look at this and you say, oh, look, I'm in D major. I should have an F sharp, but I don't. So that means that F got flat. What pitch is that? That's the third note in the scale. So I have something with a flat 3. Also, I have a flat 7. That must be, look at your handy dandy chart, flat 3, flat 7. Oh, that must be a Dorian mode, Dorian scale. So that's what you're going to do. You want to look at these scales, label which mode it's in. And then at the bottom, you're given a mode, and you're given a key. So you have to write a G Aeolian scale, and you're going to write that out with accidentals. So you write the flats and the sharps right next to the notes. So this is for next Monday. You should have done your figured bass sheet and your 7th chord sheet. Also, keep checking the website. The videos are updated, the homework is updated, and notes and pictures are updated too. So you can check that site, post any questions on the Facebook page, and without further ado, I will see you guys later. Good luck!